Barriers to good governance and democracy. There are barriers to good governance and democracies, and they impede the effective running and administration of governments. And these barriers include violations of civil, economic, and political rights. When the civil, political, and economic rights of the citizens have been violated, it's a barrier to governance and democracy. When there is lack of accountability, it is a barrier to effective governance and democracy. Ignorance, when the citizens lack knowledge of their rights. When there is no enabling environment, when we lack the basic enabling environment for government and citizens to function effectively. When there is poverty, high level of poverty. Religious barriers, when there is bribery and corruption, and then illiteracy. All of these put together form most of the basic barriers to good governance and democracy. They are not limited to it. Several other barriers exist, but the basic barriers are lack of accountability, lack of enabling environment, bribery and corruption, illiteracy, poverty, violation of civil, political, and economic rights. Importance of youth participation in governance. Why is it important for youths to participate in governance? For governance systems to be representative, all parts of the society must be included. No one must be left out. When young people are disenfranchised or disengaged from governance process, a significant portion of the population has little or no voice or influence in decisions that affect their lives or the lives of their peers. It is essential that young people are engaged in formal political processes and have a say in formulating today's and tomorrow's politics, because the youth of today become leaders of tomorrow. Inclusive youth participation in governance process is not only a fundamental political and democratic right, but also is crucial to building stable and peaceful society. It's also very crucial in developing policies that respond to the specific needs of the younger generations. You know, the younger generation, they have a way of understanding the needs of each other. So it's very important when they are brought on board decision-making tables and they are part of the decision-making processes. So it's really very important that youth at all levels of governance are involved in the process. There are several values and beliefs that need to be clarified, especially when it has to do with youth participation, engagement, involvement in governance, politics, decision-making processes. It's important to dismantle assumptions and norms about young people and how they participate in governance. These assumptions are common and are often triggered by lack of understanding and or by prejudice. The youths do not constitute a homogeneous group. And then persistent negative assumptions inaccurately characterizes the everyday experiences of most youths and can lead to discrimination of young people. And this negatively affects their capacity to participate in political processes. It is true that young people tend to vote less frequently than older people, but reading this as a sign of apathy and ignoring the structural and administrative barriers to voting that many young people must overcome would be a belief that we have to dismantle. Additionally, if we fail to take into consideration the mistrust many young people harbor for established forms of government, then it will not be very right to judge and to see youth as not effectively participating in governance or lacking the interest or the willpower to participate in government. Because apathy is not the same as feeling disconnected from the process that is not thought to be a useful tool for genuine political engagement. A lot of people do not see the need, they do not see the genuinity and the need for them to engage in politics or in any form of political system or processes. A lot of young people believe that their voices are not heard and that their votes do not count. And so there is a need to dismantle those assumptions and to also begin to have a more positive mindset and a more positive reading, and also to be able to dismantle those institutional barriers that also affect these youth engagement and involvement in governance and political processes.